Hello and welcome to the Wiry channel. Today we'll be discussing ways to travel on a budget, especially if you're traveling on a plane. Drawing from past experiences, these are tips that I used when I was trying to have both a comfortable and cost-effective experience. So let's just get into the first point. So one of the things that I did was purchasing a plane ticket in advance. For example, if you know your trip is in July, you may buy your plane ticket maybe around May or March. Um, this sounds a bit excessive, but if you're trying to save costs, this is an excellent way to kind of save on the money spent on a ticket, especially avoiding those high travel times, like December or the summer holidays when a lot of people would be flying and the air prices would just go up, to capitalize on the number of people traveling. So if you're trying to save money, you may want to either avoid those high travel times like December or just buy a ticket much earlier than most people would buy it so you can get a deal while the prices are still low. One of the best ways to save money while traveling on a plane is booking economy class. So this is a cost-effective way to travel. It is also, I think, the largest section of the plane, um, but it doesn't come with luxurious amenities. I think you have to get very specific seats, maybe closer to first class at the front of the plane if you want to have like enough leg room. But otherwise, as far as cost is concerned, I'd say economy is the way to go. Booking accommodation in advance is another way that I found to save cost. This could mean wherever you're staying, that could be a hotel, um, or a hostel, one of those backpackers accommodations, whatever it is, booking in advance and getting the rate before it goes up in the holiday times could save you a lot of money. Another thing that you could look into, staying with friends and family while you're on your trip. Of course, this will vary depending on whether you may have people in town, um, or if they have the space to accommodate. But if that is a possible solution for you, that would be another great way to kind of save on money, because if you're staying with friends or family, you would essentially be staying there nearly for free. Um, so that would be a great way to kind of save on costs while also enjoying your vacation or your trip. Also, if you're looking into accommodations such as hotels, it might be good to just Google the places you're interested in and see how close they are to the main places you'll be visiting. If you're going for a conference, how close is it to the conference center? How close is it to some tourist places you may want to see? How close is it to restaurants, highways, um, maybe to the people that you may want to see as well? The proximity of the accommodation to the places you want to be in will make all the difference when you're thinking about transport. So it's important to kind of factor in all those issues as you are planning for your accommodation. Taking full advantage of the inclusive meals that come with your ticket is a great way to also save on money. If you can manage to feel satisfied on the meals provided by the plane, um, that could also just help with keeping the costs low. The quality of the plane food will vary depending on the airline. But personally, I have found that some airlines do a decent job of feeding their customers. The meal is not restaurant level, but it's also just good enough, to keep you full. So focusing on the meals that are included with your ticket as opposed to buying heavy meals in between flights, I think can help you save on money while you're traveling by air. To piggyback off the point of inclusive meals, I would also try and limit snacking during the trip, just because small purchases here and there over a long trip can really add up. If someone is trying to stick to a budget or is trying to limit their spending on the way to their destination, another point to consider in the interest of comfort is to prioritize booking seats along the aisle as opposed to the window. That is a personal preference, so some people do prefer the window because they get to see all the views and the sights during takeoff and landing. But if someone is concerned about enough space, I think choosing the aisle seat or maybe the seats closer to the front of the plane would be a good way to try and incorporate some more comfort into the economy class seats. Finally, in an effort to stick to a budget, I would suggest booking a lift from the airport in advance, or at least calculating how much it will cost you to travel from the airport to your accommodation and then save for that cost. But if you're going to a hotel, the hotel provides ways to book affordable transport to the hotel. And if that option is available, I would highly recommend taking full advantage of that. It would not only be convenient for you after a long day of travel, but it may also save some cost as opposed to unexpected expenses. Also, if you have a friend or family member close by who doesn't mind giving you a lift, that could also be a great way to save on money and reconnect with someone in your life. So those are my tips for traveling on a budget. Thank you for watching the Wiry channel, and I'll see you all soon.